Alright, so I decided yesterday that I really feel good about doing these videos. They kind of help me express a little bit, and so I'm going to continue doing them. I'll try to get as many done as possible a week. I mean, I'm not really interested in getting views or whatnot. It's just something that I'm going to be documenting for myself and for anybody who needs it. So topic of today is how I began my road to recovery. So before I went to jail, I was trying to get off heroin, and I didn't take many, but I took like at least like 5 within the amount of like 2 to 3 days. I'm not even sure, because that shit like really blacks you out, but I heard it was good for getting off of heroin, which I was trying to do myself, which is why I said yesterday, if you want to get clean off of any substance, you should go to rehab, because you'll thank yourself. You'll thank yourself time and time again. Alright, so I don't know if anybody is familiar with Xannies, but they pretty much black you out. Like, you don't really know what you did, how much trouble you got yourself into, or what. So let's begin with alright, so why I got locked up. Okay, so what I did, I didn't have any money. I ran out of money, like you always do when you're an addict, and I was trying desperately to figure out how to get money, or how to get rid of the sickness of heroin. Okay, I found a safe and I lockpicked it, and I was trying to find marijuana so I can take the edge off a bit of the sickness, but I found a large sum of money in there. I didn't take all of it. I only took $130, and I can't even tell you. I mean, I know I spent it on Xannies, but I know I didn't spend all of that on Xannies, and I can't even tell you where the rest of the money went. Probably heroin. But the person who owned the case the person who owned the safe found out, immediately knew it was me, because why wouldn't it be me? And this person called the police. The police came, and this person pressed charges. They pressed charges, the cops came. It was very embarrassing for me. It's something that I didn't want my family to see. And it's kind of hard to talk about, because it's very, I haven't really talked about it since it's happened. But yeah, it was a really rough time. I did a lot of things within my addiction that was really just, I would have never have thought I would have been that type of person in a million years, if you were to tell me like years ago. But that is how I ended up in jail. I went to Haverford Township Jail. I had no recollection of time. I didn't know what time it was. All I knew was I wanted a cigarette. But I'm pretty sure they dropped the marijuana charge. I don't even know what they're holding me on, really. Person dropped the charge. But I don't really even care because what's happening right now is me getting my life saved. So I go to Hereford Township Jail. I spend the night there. I was figuring they would probably let me out at some point. Just keep me for 8 hours like they do with the people who go in there drunk. They keep them for 8 hours. Legally they have to, and then they let them go. But that wasn't the case. I ended up waking up the next day. They told me that I was going to go before a judge. And even at that point, I was like, even like the officers didn't think I was going to go to county. They were telling me like, don't worry, like, the judge is probably just going to slap your wrist and tell you to go home. So I was kind of gunning for that. And then he told me that I was going to jail, I was going to county, and I just like was in shock. I couldn't believe it. So I went back to the cell and I had my one phone call. I called my family and I said, my bail's $500, I'm going to jail. And that's all I said, and I hung up, and the person that gave me the phone, they were like, that's all you're gonna say? I was like, that's all I can say really at this point, because I'm so embarrassed. I mean, I know I'm family and everything, but like, there's only so much bullshit that you can take from somebody, and I feel like they were at their wits' end in order for them to get to that point of sending me to jail. So yeah, I went to Upper Darby Jail to go in front of the judge. He gave me the second chance program, which is fucking amazing. If you ever have the chance, I mean, it'll sound bad on paper to somebody who's an addict. I probably definitely wouldn't have done it if I read the papers, but at that point I was so humiliated about what was going on, I just said fuck it, and I signed the papers. But definitely do it, because it'll get you out of jail faster, and into a rehab faster, because that's what it's made to do. If you don't do that and you go to jail and then you say, hey, this shit sucks, I want to go to a rehab, you might be waiting 3 to 6 months in that bitch, waiting to go to rehab. So the second chance program, if you're on it, if you get accepted into it, you're only there for maybe a month, a little bit over, and that's better than 3 to 6 months, let me tell you. So county wasn't fun. You're in a very small room for intake. I mean, a small room with 12 people in it. They said they fit 30 people in there, and that's people like laying on top of each other. So you're an animal, pretty much, for the first 2 to 3 days, and the whole stay that you're there. But really, so much the first 2 to 3 days, you're just, they break you and they break you over and over again. My suggestion is, if you ever go up the county, don't ask questions, because nobody knows the answer, and they're all gonna bullshit you, because all the CEOs that work there hear the same shit every day, time and time again, and they're tired of hearing of it, and you can't really blame them. Even some of the people that work, like the prisoners that work for the jail, they have jobs. If they help the person that's running the block, like the higher up that's running the block, they get questions all the time, and they get tired of hearing it, so they're gonna blow smoke up your ass as well. So don't ask questions, don't ask for the time, and don't get antsy, because you don't know how long you're gonna be there, unless they already, unless they already told you. Preliminary hearings, when you get in there, you're set with a preliminary hearing, so immediately, that, like, the judge that sent you to jail gives you a preliminary hearing, so you cannot say that you never got a preliminary hearing, because I think it's illegal. And they can cancel up to 3 to 4 preliminary hearings, and They might schedule the next one out 2 weeks. They might schedule it out a month. You don't know. You have no idea. They got you by the balls, and like that's it. And don't believe everything you hear. You know, if you get offered anything, don't fucking take it. You know, I mean, the whole thing, I never had a problem with my food tray. Nobody really tried to take nobody ever tried to take shit off my food tray. Because I don't think I was on that type of block. But I mean, you probably can find yourself on a block that happens, but I never did. I was more in a psych ward / jail area. So there was like some people had like a mental illness visibly. Some people were on what's that list, the pedophile list, which is crazy to know that you're in there with like pedophiles and shit. So the reason I was on like 5 block to begin with, because I'm in my 20s, and that's where they put the 20-year-olds, and that was like, I only spent a night there. Well, I spent a couple of nights there. It was like on the 5 block, but it was different like block sections, like but the last block that I was in on 5 was like absolutely nuts. Like it was a bunch of 20-year-olds, and it was like a fucking free-for-all party and all that. When I walked in, it was like just people yelling at me and everything, and that was scary. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you don't know what to expect when you go to jail, and like sometimes you just need to keep your fucking mouth shut and just mind your own business, and that's exactly what I did the whole time I was in there. So how I got on 8 block, that's a fun story. So they did a mental exam on me, a behavioral exam on me, and found that I was pretty high on the suicide rate. Like, they thought I was going to commit suicide in the cell, or jump off a tier 2 or something like that. So after I got this test, I had someone meet me at my cell and take me to the medical area of the jail. And that is where I got put in a turtle suit, which is a black vest. It kind of looks like a bulletproof vest, but it comes down like to just about your knees for me. I mean, so like I think it's like a one-size-fits-all kind of deal, because there was a bigger guy in the same cell as me, and he didn't fit him. Let's just say that. And you're completely naked under there. So when I say it didn't fit him, phew, that was a sight to see. That's something I won't forget. But yeah, I got put in a cell, and I was with this one guy, and I was with this other guy. The other guy was pretty quiet, but the other guy freaked me out a little bit, because he was kind of like losing his shit. And when like you're in that, they have somebody outside of the cell, like a CEO outside of, or CO or whatever they're called, outside of the cell, watching your every move and documenting it, like writing it down. So I mean, I made light of it. The guy that his thing was like too short, he was kind of like, I was laying like this, and like he was laying with like my head like, and he was laying like this way, but with his ass facing me, and I was like, dude, I'm staring straight up Main Street. You're gonna have to turn around with that shit, because I'm not getting paid to see it. That guy is. And I pointed at the guard outside the door, and the dude was like, after he switched up, he was cool. Like, the guy that I said this to was cool. He thought it was funny and everything and whatnot. But he turned and to make his shit face the guard, and the guard was like, he has to be constantly looking in all the time, so he can't like he can't not look in. Even if this guy's ass and his nuts are right in his face, he can't not look in. He has to. So this guy starts going like this, like looking in the cell, but like not trying to look in at all. So it was like really funny, and I just started laughing and everything. But like, then after that, I got put on tier 2. I was only in there for a night. It wasn't. I think being in the hole is what they call it. I think being in the hole is actually better than being out on a block. I don't know why. I guess I just like my solitude. But yeah, then I got on 8 and I met up with, you know, my cellmate. He was cool. I mean, I had one cellmate that I wasn't really crazy about, and then they moved me into another cell. And this guy, he was cool. He was like me. He didn't really talk much, but when he did, like, he had some kind of interesting things to say. And then after being, I went into jail. I was in Cali on March 10th, and I got out April 4th, and I went into rehab. Yeah, April 4th, and I went into rehab until like 25 days after that date, which I can't. But yeah, I went to rehab. I met some cool people. It was, you know, when you're in a situation like that, you got to make the best of it, and you got to take everything out of it. Like, put yourself in uncomfortable situations all the time when you're there, because that's what it's all about. That's what becoming sober is all about, is just putting yourself in uncomfortable situations, and because you're gonna be uncomfortable regardless, because you're not used to living life without a substance. So so I went to rehab. It was nice. The food was good. It was more like, when you go to county, they don't give you shit. Like, you're constantly hungry. But when you go to rehab, it's the one I went to. They give you the same food all the time. I mean, you choose. There's a set menu, but it's like the same shit every day. I can't eat burgers anymore because I ate a burger every day for like a month straight. So I'm like disgusted with burgers now. So I got out of rehab and I set up IOP. I got my Vivitrol shot. I'm in IOP now. I'm doing, you know, I'm doing really good. I'm in IOP. I'm gonna get dropped down to OP, which is outpatient. I'm in intensive outpatient right now, which is 3 days a week. 9 o'clock to 1, and then OP is just 2 days a week. But yeah, I'm working on things. I'm getting shit straightened out. I'm on medication that I needed to be on for a long time, and I just was like too stubborn to admit that I had a problem. But now I'm like not even, like, I don't care if people judge me that I have, you know, major depressive disorder or social anxiety disorder. You can judge me all I want, or all you want, because in the end, like, it doesn't, like, I'm speaking for not only myself but for other people, to hope that other people understand what I'm saying and can relate to what I'm saying, and take it for what it is, and take it for themselves, and have their own individual take from it. So I'm gonna end this video like I did the one last night. If you need to have if you need help getting into a rehab, call me, message me on Facebook. I'll give you my personal number. We'll get things going. please, if you find yourself using and you're using because you're trying to get out of reality and you're depressed and you feel like you're suicidal, please get the help that you need, because it gets better after you get sober. I promise. Like, it does. It really does. So, yeah, feel free to hit me up and I'll help you out. Thanks for watching.